Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, or if you're already here, welcome to this little video. I'm going to talk about different months as well. That'll go in the wheel of the year probably, but I'm going to talk today about March. So March feels like the earth is stretching after a long nap of winter. The soil loosens and the birds rehearse their spring songs. And the light returns earlier each day. Obviously, you've noticed if you're in the UK, it's getting lighter of an evening. And soon the clocks will be going forward. But, you know, in the morning now, I'm really hearing all the birds out the back there. I've got a lovely bird song, particularly at the moment now. They're all very chirpy out there and singing away. Anyway, in magical traditions, it is a threshold month, March, because winter's fading and spring is just arriving, and the balance of light and dark preparing for Ostara. Themes you want to work with this month would be renewal and rebirth. So you've got balance as well, light and dark, equal at the equinox. Planting intentions, you know, what seeds you're going to be planting, etc., etc. Awakening creativity. Well, yeah, I've been quite creative myself at the moment. I've just done the sea glass little ornament. Also, courage to begin new things. March magic is like turning the soil in your life before new seeds are planted. Colours for this month would be green for growth, nature and fresh starts, yellow for sunlight, returning joy, mental clarity, white also for purity and new beginnings, and a soft pink for gentle love, blossoming and life. You can put these colours on your altar for Ostara. So the altar for March would be a green cloth, maybe yellow candles, white flowers. And for stones and crystals, if you might want to put on your altar, would be aquamarine for traditional birthstone of March, connected to water, emotional flow and calm communication. And it's also good for cleansing old emotional energy. You can also put on your altar bloodstone, which is for courage and strength, grounding energy, traditionally linked to warriors. And also always good to have on your altar is some clear quartz, which amplifies intentions, spring intentions and setting rituals. You could do a simple ritual. You could do this at Ostara. You could do it anytime in March. You could do your own one, but this is just an example. For a simple one, you could hold your crystal or stone you have chosen. You can breathe in and then say something like, as earth awakens, so do my intentions. And you can just hold the stone and feel that. That would be a very simple ritual. Plants at this time you could put on your altar are the lovely daffodils. Lots of them out in Wales now, for rebirth and hope. You can have lovely little primrose for protection and fairy lore. You could have willow for intuition and moon magic. And also I just want to say daffodils are especially lovely in Welsh spring. You also have obviously St David's Day, which was on the 1st of March, and many traditional folks' beliefs say March winds blow, the winter spirits away. And while we're here in March, I want to talk also about, this is kind of a new thing, but I'm going to add this on here. It's folklore, about the March Hare, the mystical, magical March Hare. Anyway, in old countryside lore across Britain and parts of Wales, hare fur or rabbit fur had several symbolic meanings. Because hares reproduce quickly and are active in spring, their fur symbolised fertility, abundance, and the return of life after winter. The saying of mad as a March hare, as hares are at this time of the year absolutely mental and love to fight and run around and jump and leap, and they particularly look quite unhinged this time of the year. So that's where the saying comes, mad as a March hare. Sometimes people would carry small tufts of fur as a spring charm for prosperity and growth. And hares have long been linked to the moon because they are mostly active at night. And their fur represented soft lunar energy, intuition and feminine power. And some traditions, they were sacred to Ostara. And, you might find a tuft of hair or whatever if you wanted to use that. But, not hair, fur. They don't have hair, they have fur. You might find some tufts of fur lying around. If not, anyway, you don't have to. You could just draw a lovely picture of a hare, or you could carve a wooden hare, or buy something online that looks like a lovely hare, or a picture. You could put that on your altar as well if you wanted to, because a lot of people obviously don't like fur, and it should be on the animal, not in olden times they used to have things like a rabbit's foot and that, but today's society I think that would be most unsightly. So anyway, like I say, you have alternatives to actually having some hare fur, but if you're lucky enough to see some where a hare has been, why not take some home? Anyway, I wanted to also say about in the Welsh and Celtic folklore, the hare had a mysterious reputation, and some stories suggested witches could transform into hares, and the hare was considered a liminal animal, meaning it moved between worlds, so night and day, winter and spring, and spiritual and physical. So like I say, today rather than using real fur, many people work with the symbol of a hare, an image on your altar, a picture of a hare, carving, etc. I'm going to say the beautiful Welsh word Gwanwyn, I hope I've pronounced that right, I'll spell it out for you, it's Gwanwyn, pronounced Gwanwyn, means springtime. And if a white hare crossed your path at this time at night, it was sometimes taken as a message from that unseen realm, and not always bad, just mysterious. That's quite interesting, isn't it? I like a little bit on folklore. Well, that's it on March and the March hare. I have done another bit on Ostara. I'm going to talk about Ostara, which is spring equinox, and that falls on March the 20th to the 21st. So obviously it's a celebration as well, a time for sort of symbolism would be balance of light and dark, where it's the same, equal. Also for fertility and new life. A time for planting seeds and also egg painting, egg balancing. Also rabbits and hares. Simple Ostara ritual. You could just light 2 candles. You could have one dark candle, maybe a black candle on the left and a white candle on the right. And you could light them. You could reflect on balance in your life at this time. You could either plant some seeds on your altar, in soil setting and intention on your altar, and also the moon at this time, which is quite interesting. The full moon near the equinox is traditionally called the worm moon, meaning soil warming. Earthworms sort of returning, the first signs of life beneath the ground. As you go out, you might see some daffodils out now and some snowdrops if you're in the UK. Definitely up here in Wales, you can just see little flowers coming out and things starting to reappear, buds on trees and bushes, and my lavender's starting to bud a little bit, and my cherry blossom tree is too. Things like that. So witchy activities during sort of Ostara are sort of obviously seed planting, making spring moon water, which is interesting. You know, you could get a little bowl of water and leave it out overnight, preferably on a full moon. So there you have your moon water. You can decorate eggs for Ostara. You could do a bit of spring cleaning, which I've been doing. And you can just go for a nice walk if it's a nice day. Unfortunately, here has been a lot of bad weather, but when it is a nice day, it's nice just to get out and get some fresh air. Maybe go and collect some twigs or feathers or anything interesting you find along your way, and bring it home. You could put that on your altar as well. You could also do a meditation on your altar. Just an example, you could light your candles, your dark candle and your light candle. You could say something like, "Light returns, the earth breathes again. Seeds awaken beneath the soil. May my spirit grow as the green world rises." You could also do things like egg painting. Lots of fun. You know, at this time, sort of witches paint hard-boiled eggs, and then they carefully try to balance their eggs to symbolise the state of balance, so between light and dark. Natural dyes you can use, like blueberries or beetroot or red cabbage, or you could just use some chocolate eggs. That would be nice. You could eat them. The goddess at this time is in her maiden aspect, who is she's mated with the ascending sun god, or in folk tradition, the green man, so that an infant would be conceived and be reborn as the new sun at the time of the next winter solstice, so that the wheel of the year keeps on turning. So that's just a little bit on Ostara. I'm going to do another little talk on March, so you can sort of link March in with Ostara, but I'll do that on a separate one. Okay, everyone, thank you, and please like and subscribe. Bye for now.